The material world we can see, touch, and measure is a projection of our limited perceptions of reality. You probably noticed that some people are really powerful manifestors. They manifest impressive business success, great wealth, great relationships. And here's the thing. To manifest something in the material world, you must first create it energetically. And experiencing prosperity is the first and the most crucial step if you want to evolve into the state of abundance and later energetic overflow. It's a fascinating topic, and that's the reason I invited a really brilliant guest expert who is also my amazing private client to share with us how to activate prosperity in every area of life.
Grow your wealth, live on your terms.
Hello, powerful people. Hello. Welcome to the Conversations with Experts, the show that allows you to connect with experts in different areas of life. I'm Millen, the host of the show and holistic financial independence mentor. Sadly, so many people, especially women, experience money worries and anxiety about financial future these days. Many women I spoke with are going through unexpected, often shocking life changes and have to sort out their money now. Others are concerned about having enough money for retirement, and some want to know how to become financially independent faster. If you want to fix the money problems that cause your money problems and to know how to map your path to financial independence, I invite you to join us for the powerful, value-filled free masterclass, More Money, Fixing the Problems That Cause Money Problems. And here's the link. Here's the link to this masterclass. Register for the free live masterclass where you can also ask me any questions toward the end. Look, it's never too late to choose freedom and start controlling your money so your money does not control you. And that's my zone of expertise. I help people who struggle with money worries to become financially independent so they never worry about money again. So if that's what you want, make sure you register for the masterclass now. And the link is on the screen, daretochange.com/MMM, all lowercase. All right. Now let's talk about how to activate prosperity. How to activate prosperity in every area of your life. And my brilliant and gorgeous guest expert today, who is also happened to be my star private client, is Antonina Andreeva. Antonina, welcome. So great to have you with me.
Thank you. And thank you so much for your brilliant work and what you bring into the world. I'm so appreciative of it. It's truly life-changing.
So you're quite exquisite person. I know it's one of your favorite words, right? And allow me to introduce you in a kind of formal way, because you have quite a bit of achievements in your life, even though you're very young. Antonina is energy intuitive, mentor, and a thought leader in areas of integrating feminine and masculine energies, creating your holy wealth legacy, and accessing your soul's purpose. She is a co-founder and facilitator of experiential adventure mastermind called Sailing Activations. Antonina amassed thousands of hours studying and practicing shamanic psychotherapy, has in-depth knowledge of Eastern holistic approach to energy, and is one of only 34 practitioners of sacred DNA methods. She teaches tangible consciousness tools to purpose-driven leaders and worked with several world leaders and celebrities, including the wife of the former UK Prime Minister, Tony Blair, welcome again. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So happy to have you here.
Thank you.
So, it's funny because when we work, we don't often go into depth about what you do with your clients, right?
Yes.
So today is a really great opportunity for us to talk about some specifics of your work with your clients. And I have quite a few questions for you today. So I really, really hope that our audience would appreciate learning from you, because you're quite an expert in the area of energy, upgrading energy frequency, energy healing, etc. So my first question is, what is energy frequency, and why is it so important to work with your frequency?
What a great question. Thank you for asking, first of all. So an energetic frequency is a vibrational, and by that I mean oscillation rate of everything. Everything around us, everything that we see, and even the things that we don't, things that we perceive, they vibrate at a certain level, or another way of saying is they hold a certain amount of consciousness, and that consciousness is available to us in terms of, in an intangible way, and a fancy way of saying that we can read the consciousness around us. Okay, and things that we see and things that we perceive. So a stone might hold a certain level of consciousness, as does your table, as do you, and as do I. And as the collective consciousness of the planet is lifting, is changing, is shifting, so does our individual consciousness. And this is becoming relevant because our senses are expanding, and we're starting to take in, to read, to receive, and to perceive this intangible information. And so in order for us to be able to interpret that is why we start working with this understanding of frequency. This is something that goes beyond the traditional sense system, but I believe this is something that is super relevant now because of the nature of the shifts that are taking place in the world. If you look around, information is traveling at the speed of light, literally, the internet. We're exposed to so much more than we have been in the past. And we need to fine-tune our senses and our brain to be able to receive that. Just like we change iPhones or phones every few, or upgrade the hardware in order to be able to receive the newest, latest software that is being continuously released on the market. So things, and look at it this way, that things we didn't consider relevant even 1-2 years ago are extremely relevant now. Like, let's take crypto as an example, right? Few years ago, we were concerned about something else, and suddenly digital assets, digital currency just completely explodes, and you hear about it, but do you understand it? So it's like learning a new language. So in order for us to be able to receive all of this and to perceive all of this, we must attune our senses so that it can transfer the understanding onto our hard disk, and we're able to connect with information. If you don't, you kind of get left behind. Just like if somebody doesn't understand internet these days, they're not able to access the full amount of information that's available, and they will just feel on the outskirts of the world. So it's
is it true? Sorry, is it accurate that different people have different sensitivity in terms of feeling energy, feeling different frequencies that other people emit?
Absolutely. So yeah, I believe every person is energetically aware, and then energetic sensitivity, or ability to read and interpret energy, is a skill and a tool like everything else. So it's something that can be developed. However, you will have a certain amount of predisposition to a based on your unique genetic makeup. So some people will have a fine-tuned ear. That's why they can hear pieces of music and can distinguish different resonance. Some people are able to, they receive information through their eyes, others through taste, others through just knowing, being able to interpret and make valid decisions on the spot. So you will have come in genetically coded with that ability. And the further work is expanding and fine-tuning your instrument to the desired outcome.
Beautiful. So let's talk about material stuff. I'm a very practical person.
Absolutely.
So how can we be aware of the way energy affects matter? Like, how can we use this awareness about energy and frequency to create certain practical things in our life? Like word manifest is very popular, right? So how can energy affect matter so we could know this and maybe use it?
So energy has a direct effect on matter. In fact, they're a continuation of each other. Say quantum field is the cloud, and then you said the word manifesting. I personally lately prefer the word materialization because it's realizing of the matter into the physical aspect. So if the quantum field is the cloud, the materialization is that it's the information being downloaded on the cloud and being readily available to you. So in the past, we were more concerned with the physical process of realization, the here and now. But again, as consciousness is rising, expanding, and we're being exposed to new levels and new depth of information, we're starting to realize that everything starts up here and kind of moves into here. So thought, idea, creative impulse is a good way of putting it. And then realizing that creative impulse into the finished product, which would be your materialization. And money is very much similar to that. So money is a byproduct of you being expressed and sharing that with the world. And then it's a medium of exchange. Of course, that's something that you know and teach well. So in that way, to me, the energy and affects matter directly, because the more energy that you can carry, the more matter you can receive on the other side. If you look at, say, millionaires, so people who are quite wealthy, they hold a large amount of energy around what they want to bring into the world, what they want to realize in the world.
So that would explain why certain people manifest a lot of wealth, and some people really live in a world of poverty, and it's the same world, it's the same material world, right? And yet the frequency, the personal frequency, really demonstrates itself or pictures out itself in a different way of material wealth.
That's such a great point. Yes, because the body stands somewhere in the middle between the cloud and the material. And the body is a filter of sorts, right? The body and the consciousness is a filter of sorts. Now, if those are imbalanced, if those will carry things that will affect the final produce, the final product. So why we work on mindset, why we work on health and wellness, and why we fine tune the body as an instrument and a clear filter, so that more energy can pass into the material world and thus radiate out. So again, to me, somebody who is able to manifest great wealth, let's take, somebody who has inherited out of the picture, is someone who has been able to clear their filter to the point where they're fully expressed, fully out there, completely transparent with their ideas. Their ideas go beyond, the here and now. They usually have something that it wants to help on the social level, on the collective level, and so on and so forth. So the filter is very open. And so a large amount of energetic frequency can pass through and influence the world.
So, Antonina, how can we activate prosperity in every area of our lives? Because that's our topic, and I would love to hear your insights, your secrets on this topic.
Yeah. So what I really desire to share with you today is that prosperity is number one step towards the energetic state of abundance and later overflow. And if you look at it as the first step where you're building the frequency, you're building the frequency of the frequency, you cannot get from step one to say step 3 or step 4. Hence why the nature of prosperity or the frequency of prosperity is that first stepping stone. So I'll give you a brief overview. If the void, the zero, is the 0 point of everything and nothing, the prosperity is the focusing on the energies. When you're gathering data, information, and you're building out your creative impulse, your idea. So at this point, you would start bringing in thoughts, ideas, senses, kind of like, and putting it into this, starting to create the beginnings of the tangible outcome. So prosperity is a state of being that is on the way towards abundance, right? So it's this starting point. And I feel like a lot of people, what we're witnessing in the world, because it has been shaken so much in the last 2 years, they kind of feel like they left something old, but they haven't, they're at the precipice of entering something new. And then looking back, and because the brain is wired that way, they're looking back at what has worked for them in the past. And the idea around prosperity is discarding those old principles, understanding that the past is the past, and starting to build anew from the data that's been acquired, and bringing in those extra bits to really get excited, get connected to the ideas that I know that they carry. So it's like a seed that will be planted, that will flourish and bloom into a beautiful flower or a fruit or whatever later on. So we know that the quality of the seed affects the final outcome. So it's an invitation, like this message is an invitation for people to get really clear on what the seed is, understand that the old is no longer relevant, and just focusing on planting and nourishing and looking after the seed of what is.
Thank you so much for answering this question. Antonina, I would like to hear from you a clarification or maybe distinction between the state of prosperity and the state of abundance, because very often people use these two terms interchangeably. Are they different? And if they are, in what way?
Well, frequency-wise, they are actually. So I gather a lot of I interpret energetic information and a little bit of a energy interpreter, if you will. And what I was shown, so I can only share to you what has been shown to me, what has come to understand, that the frequency matter of, so the frequency oscillation rate of those two states is different. The state of abundance is when everything is already present, when you're one step, when you're already living that desired outcome and that desired reality and that desired state. It has seeped through into every area of your life. Whereas the frequency of prosperity is that starting point where you're planting the seed, but you know what you're working towards. You know that the outcome, you're starting to connect to the outcome. And again, it's just with everything else. The start is as important as that the end. So the very end of this journey would be a state of overflow, where there is so much of energetic resource available. It's just coming out of everywhere. So the prosperity is the beginning of that journey. But it's where we draw resources from to then create a desired outcome. So to me, they're quite different. Think of prosperity as the spring and abundance late summer.
I love the metaphor and your explanation, because I noticed that, like I said, a lot of times people just use these terms interchangeably, and I always knew that they're not the same, but it's the habit, I guess. Well said. And I know that you are, as an energetic interpreter, I love this term, by the way, which fits you, I think, very well. So can you share with us your thoughts about future of money? We're going through major changes in so many ways. So just briefly share your opinion about the future of the money.
So, and this is something I'm really interesting, and I'm kind of doing a lot of energetic field research on right now. I believe what I have been shown and what I trust is coming is that we're crossing a threshold and money is becoming energetic. And again, I'm going to bring in the example of digital currencies and digital assets. The world is fast becoming this etheric representation. So, and if you think about it, digital assets, or crypto in particular, they require energy. The act of mining is the energy is required to power the mining, right, and to produce the digital currencies. So money is evolving from material assets to an energetic assets. That's the kind of shift that's undergoing. So that if we consider 3D being the material world where you could see and hold things and experience them, 4D, which is where we're moving to right now in terms of money, is a different sense of perception. And it's more to do with the state of, if you're feeling it, you're experiencing it. And I believe there will be another shift, which is the 5D, which is the living it and loving it. So in the future, we will witness money becoming quantum. We're going to be moving away from the separation and towards the union, right? We're going to move from this is going to just compact into the one thing, and money will be in direct correlation to love, like how much you love what you do and how much love you're experiencing as you're doing it, and how much love you're able to hold and receive through the act. So it's a quantum jump into what we previously only perhaps dreamed about, like doing what you love, but it's doing what you love and getting paid for it handsomely is the way, is where and how I see money evolving in the future.
This is so interesting. This is the first time I hear something like a, prediction for money being in direct proportion, I would say, to the love that you emit in the world, right?
Yeah, that's such a great word. Mm-hmm.
And it's very interesting. Thank you for sharing this. I really appreciate that. Look, I could talk to you, as you know, for hours. However, we have limited time today, and I want to make sure that people know how to connect with you. And I also know that you have some amazing free event that is coming up. So could you please share with us whatever you want to share in terms of connecting with you?
Sure. So connecting, well, first of all, the Activate Your Prosperity Masterclass is something that I'm going to be holding on the 23rd of July at 12 EDT, which is 8 SET. And I'm going to go deeper into what I shared here, the vision around money, how to build the frequency of prosperity. So how to take this initial thought, this initial impulse, and how to carry it through and realize
And the link to register is on the screen, right? That's
brilliant.
That's how people can register. Okay.
Thank you for that. Yeah, how they can bring that and kind of make the process of materialization work for them. I think it's so important to share this intel right now, because the nature of it is slightly changing, and I'm so excited to be covering that in the masterclass and helping people find their relationship to the manifesting through these steps, because then they can use the system again and again and again for other impulses that are going to be coming into their life. So that would, to me, would get rid of this whole pattern of arousal and surviving, because they now have a process that they can reapply to that. And yeah, that's what will be shared in the masterclass. So obviously the details are,
I know that it would be amazing experience. So it's not a traditional training, it's very experiential. And I know that you're going to have like hot seats and stuff like that. So whoever is watching this, take advantage of this, because I think it would be absolutely amazing for you to experience that. And Antonina is really brilliant at what she does. So join this masterclass. It's free. It's a great opportunity. Thank you again very much, Antonina, for taking time.
Thank you so much for having me, Millen. I appreciate it.